One of the most interesting stories I read today was the TSA is planning to unroll a program where they say they want to get rid of airport screening at small airports. Wow, you were quick. You were just, oh, that's so fun. This is the funniest thing. I said the TSA wants to get rid of airport screening. He went, woo! And then I said, wow, you're happy. And then he just went like this. I feel like you're like, I get randomly selected way too much. Is that what it is?
Even after TSA pre-check. They're like,
you pre-check?
They said even if you paid, it
right.
doesn't necessarily count.
Wow. Wait, so you got pre-checked and you still get checked? So they're like, now we need post-check for you. we need post-check. What's your name?
Salman Irani. It used to be Salman Muhammad. But then
your name was Salman Muhammad?
Yeah.
Okay.
But we legitimately changed it after 9/11.
Wait, are you being serious?
I swear to God.
You know what's great? I'll tell you a person I've had with a name that had more trouble than you. I met a gentleman in the UK, and he has never been allowed into America because his name is Jihad. And so, like, that's his normal name. And jihad, if you know anything about Islam, it's about the internal struggle that a Muslim person faces every day in their lives. It's not about like blowing shit up necessarily. You can use it whatever it is. And so, jihad is about the struggle you face as a human being in your life. Every religion has a different word for it. But so he was telling me his story. But what was funny was, I didn't know. He was like, hey man, America won't let me into the country. And I was like, why? And he's like, oh, because I'm a Muslim and because of my name. And I was like, this is disgusting, this is horrible, whatever. And I was like, I can't believe they would block you. And then I was like, so what's your name? And then he's like, my name is Jihad. And then I was like, oh. I was like, yeah. I was like, here's the thing. I mean, I get where you're coming from. But in America's defense, imagine if you were the TSA guy who let him in. And then they would be like, Barry, like his name was Jihad. And he's like, I know, dude, but I thought it was like a friendly jihad. Like, so like it's not a good thing, but it's weird that you have the pre-check. But anyway, then you'd be excited by this news. They said that the TSA is planning to they want to get rid of TSA pre-checks and security at small airports because they say it costs too much money. They want to save like $150 million, right? Because it costs them too much money to scan all the people. And then, like, a lot of people are opposed to it because they're like, yo, it's still an airport. And then they were saying, yeah, but we just don't think that terrorists care about the smaller planes. And I was like, isn't it so funny that, like, because you know when you're flying from those tiny airports, you've got those, like, little shitty planes that nobody likes? You know, the tiny ones with no overhead and, like, it's two and then one, but, like, everyone is squashed together. And I was just thinking, how funny would it be if there is no security? And then, like, they get on the plane, and then, like, everyone hates those planes, and they hate flying into those regional flights so much that, like, one day a terrorist does try to blow it up, and he's like, everybody, I'm hijacking this plane! And everyone's like, whatever, man, we don't, this... They're like, yeah, just get us out of our misery. Look at this plane. Just end it now, man. End it now. And, like, I feel like he wouldn't even have enough space to hijack one of those planes. You'd be in your seats, and then you'd be like, I'm taking this plane!